Welcome to Egypt, the land of the pharaohs, the cradle of civilization. When I told people that I was coming here, the reaction was pretty much always the same. Oh, that place has always been on my bucket list. It just has that effect, doesn't it? And over the next 3 weeks, with Scenic, we are going on the most magical journey. We will go floating in the Dead Sea, snorkeling in the Red Sea. We're off to Petra in Jordan. We will bargain at markets. We'll meet the most extraordinary locals, eat yummy food. There is so much that we are going to see and do. And I really don't think I could have chosen a better place to start than right here, the Pyramids of Giza. Scenic's 20-day Essence of Egypt and Jordan journey truly is an adventure of a lifetime, with mind-blowing sights, incredible legendary hotels, a luxury cruise on the Nile, and experiences you will remember forever. We are kicking it all off in the absolutely bustling Egyptian capital of Cairo at its #1 attraction. You know, it's really impossible not to be overawed by the sight of the pyramids. The biggest of Giza pyramids, duly named the Great Pyramid, is one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. And not only is it the oldest of the 7, it's also the only one still standing. Do you still get excited when you come here? Does your heart race whenever you come here still?
Definitely, definitely. Every time, I consider it like a time machine. You put yourself in a time machine and then you go back 4,600 years of time. Is it amazing?
Amazing.
These mysterious structures loom large as a backdrop to the city of Cairo and as an emblem for ancient Egypt. You know, for many people, just being here really is the fulfillment of a lifelong dream. The 3 large pyramids were burial chambers for the most revered pharaohs of the time, and the smaller pyramids nearby house the tombs of their queens.
Do you know, the most important to know that they didn't consider themselves as human beings. They considered themselves as gods. So the pharaoh, he was the god, divine king. That's why he made for himself a huge construction to be his burial, because he's a god, not a pharaoh. And another thing which is really interesting for the people to know, why pyramid shape? They consider that the pyramid shape is steps to heaven, which is the second life for them.
While the pyramids do take center stage here at Giza, another revered relic of ancient times is just meters away. The Great Sphinx is more than just an icon of ancient Egypt. It is a symbol of the mysteries of this time.
Is it true that Napoleon Bonaparte shot the Sphinx's nose off?
Yes, very true.
It is true.
When the French were here between 1798 to 1805, it was said that he did that, and something really happened between this date and when the British were in Egypt, because it's now in the British Museum.
The French shot it off, but the Brits got the nose.
Exactly.
Now, if you would like to linger a little longer gazing at the wonders of the ancient world, then you are in luck. The Mena House Hotel is one of Scenic's special stay locations, and I think you can see why.
Wow, how amazing is that? I'm pretty sure when you look up room with a view in the dictionary, this is the hotel room they should use for the picture. It is amazing. And it's a good place to explain why Scenic obsess about finding you the best hotel in every location, because it really does matter. Here in Cairo, a city of 25 million people, you want to be right next to the pyramids. And there is only one hotel that offers you this. Amazing.
The best of all, I think, Scenic have a pyramid view room for all of their guests. One of our Essence of Egypt and Jordan journey with Scenic is the bustling Egyptian city of Cairo. The very best place to get an overview, I think, of this ancient city come modern metropolis is at the Citadel. Originally constructed to protect the city and all of its treasures below, the Citadel complex houses one of Cairo's most famous structures. With its dome top, the Muhammad Ali Mosque dominates the city skyline.
Hanan, this is not what I was expecting. We've got little children going crazy, people taking selfies, some people praying. It's very family-oriented.
Yeah, it is, because this mosque is from 1830, so it's very old. It's an antique now. And people, they like to come to here, not because it's a religious spot, because outside and the gardens around, family spot, you know? And beside, they can visit also a mosque, which is part of our life.
Yes. Tell me about this chandelier, it's beautiful.
The chandelier, if you look at it, you will find it's very different. It was a gift from the King of France at that time to Muhammad Ali. So from King of France to the King of Egypt, especially for his new mosque.
Now, most big cities of the world boast a national museum, but very few, if any, could claim the wealth of artifacts and ancient history that you will find right here.
This is like the United Nations here. The reason that the Egyptian Museum is on every traveller's must-do list is because, quite simply, it is one of the greatest museums on the planet, not just because of its pharaonic antiquities collection, but also its Roman, its Greek, and the superstar draw card here is its King Tutankhamen's tomb collection. It is the only one of its kind in the world. The whole collection, intact, complete, inside.
This is the masterpiece of all the treasures of Tutankhamen. I love it myself because it's his actual throne that he used when he was on the throne of Egypt. And the lovely thing is, in the back of the throne, we have a family scene of him and his wife together.
You could not put a price on something like this, could you?
No, never. Because it tells a history, it tells a story. It's not just the material. Of course, it's covered all with gold.
Of over 100,000 artifacts in the museum, it's the thousands of items from King Tutankhamen's tomb that hold pride of place.
This mask is solid gold, and this used to be on the top of his coffin, which had his mummy, you know? Face feature of the king and his beard. By the way, you have to know, he never had a beard in his lifetime. This used to be attached to be a royal sign.
Hanan, now that I see this in front of me, I cannot believe the detail, how beautiful it is. It really has to be seen to be believed, doesn't it?
Exactly. You cannot believe that this is 3,500 years. And it's not just the details, it's the condition, perfect condition.
Now, after a couple of days in Egypt's bustling capital of Cairo, we have moved on to Luxor, a place often touted as the world's greatest open-air museum, with the glorious Nile River running right through its heart. And as a base to explore this area's treasures, Scenic will have you at the very best address in the city.
I want you to take in every detail of this iconic hotel lobby. Not only is the Winter Palace beautiful and historic, this is the hotel of legends. Everyone from Empress Eugenie of France to Agatha Christie to the British archaeologist Howard Carter have based themselves here when in Luxor. And it was from this royal staircase, no doubt standing somewhere around about here, that Howard announced to the world that he and his workmen had discovered the step that led down to the tomb of King Tutankhamen.
Built in 1886 by British explorers, it's, well, it's kind of a blend of rich colonial design with the glory of the ancient times. Rooms at the front, they overlook the banks of the Nile. And at the back, century-old royal gardens. I loved wandering through these gardens. Across the road is the Mummification Museum.
So, you know that the Egyptians believed that the afterlife was better than anything you could possibly experience here on this earth. They wanted to be completely prepared, look their best, have everything from sacred animals to fine food to take them to that paradise. What amazes me, though, is when you look at the instruments, when you look at the detail involved. This happened 3,000 to 5,000 years ago. What kind of a society was that? Extraordinary.
Over many centuries, the ancient Egyptians got the mummification process down to a fine art.
So that body has been stuffed and layered and wrapped.
Exactly. It's ready now, so stuffed, ready, and then they wrap the body in linen bandages, like all over the body. Then they put the death mask on the face. And the death mask, that's for the spirit, to recognize its own body.
And so have they built the face up?
Exactly. They stuff it so it would be like, gives that baby face, like modern plastic surgery nowadays. Yeah.
He's had a little bit of filler.
Exactly. It's a filler. You can see the cheeks being filled.
Well, it's at sunset that Luxor really shines, and I mean that literally, with feluccas gliding down the Nile and the grand sight of the Luxor temple lit up as the city's icon. Roaming this peaceful city at night, I have to say I do feel incredibly safe, and you will have a chance to interact with locals at the city's main souk.
If I get these 4 things, what's your best price? Egyptian pounds.
Egyptian pound. Tourist price is 1,500. Tourist price, yes. I give you Egyptian price because
I don't know about that. I don't know. What about 600?
Have it between you and me, 650.
650? You've got a deal. Let's shake on it. Yeah.
Well, yes, of course, the shopkeepers will engage you, and yes, they are keen to make a sale. But hey, there is no hassling here. They are as polite as they are charming. Love the characters here.
Your scarf is beautiful.
You beautiful, not the scarf.
Shukran, shukran.
Welcome. Nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too. Okay.
In a country of ancient riches, Egypt's west bank of Luxor is arguably the biggest treasure chest of them all. For the early Egyptians, the sun setting in the west signified the end of the day and the end of life. So the tombs and mausoleums were built on the west side of the Nile. Now, one of the most impressive is the mortuary temple of Ramses III, locally known by its Arabic name, Medinet Habu.
So, no other gate is like this.
Yes, it's totally different gate. It was built in style of Syrian castles.
And that was because Ramses
Ramses
III
he
fought in
fought
Syria.
in Syria quite a lot. and he's the last great pharaoh ever. Because after that, the ancient Egyptian civilization started to decline. It's a wonderful place.
I actually feel quite emotional and overwhelmed. It's so huge. To see the paint on the walls, to see these incredible inscriptions.
Ironically, one of Egypt's most impressive sites is found underground.
Right, so heading to the Valley of the Kings, to the gate. Are you excited now?
This is totally impressive.
For more than 500 years, this valley served as the resting place for the rulers of ancient Egypt, now aptly named the Valley of the Kings.
So how many tombs are there? 63?
No, 64.
64?
They keep finding every now and then. There's like new tomb and more excavations.
Why would they build their tombs here?
Yeah, because mainly they found a natural pyramid in this area, and the pyramid shape was sacred shape for them. So that's why they chose this valley, not next door valley. This is Ramses III, the last great pharaoh. And
Well, although most of the riches and the treasures have long since been removed and raided, the images and hieroglyphics remain, thank heavens for that. Incredibly, they are still vivid and detailed all these centuries later. Across the Nile to Luxor's East Bank, and Karnak Temple is arguably regarded as Egypt's greatest monument after the pyramids. It's the largest ancient religious site on the planet, and it covers around 100 hectares.
here we have the statue of Ramses II and his beloved wife Nefertari.
How many wives did Ramses II have?
Ramses II, not less than 57 wives.
57 wives.
90 sons and about 60 daughters. He had quite a very small family.
Covering an area of over 5,000 square metres, the hypostyle hall is absolutely mind-blowing in both size and structure. This journey with Scenic is the perfect blend of adventure and relaxation. And after a day of exploring, this is where we are lucky enough to unwind. The luxurious Sanctuary Sunboat is our abode for the next few nights as we glide down the famous Nile River.
Well, did I keep my promise or what? Did I not say to you at the start of this show that we would be seeing the most mind-blowing sights and saying yes to adventures that absolutely humble you as a traveller? And we haven't even sampled the Nile yet, ancient Egypt's original highway. I think it's time we stop being in denial about the Nile.